Hello and welcome to
tonight's
Group Therapy podcast. I was going to try and steal your bit.
Yeah, because it's mine. It's mine. It's my show. Mine. My show a long time ago. It's been around for, this
has been around since the 90s.
No, it's been around since early 2000s.
Yeah.
Yep. We this has existed in one way, shape, or form since the early 2000s. And if any of you out there actually still have, because we did when we were trying to do the group therapy TV show on public access here in Piqua, I made DVDs and handed them out to a lot of people. I know, I bet you none of you still have them. Those who did watch it said they really liked it, but that was our demo for what we did here in Piqua on TV. So if you actually have one of them, I don't have one anymore. Mine is long since gone. That computer that was all that software, all that was on, gave up the ghost a long time ago. Lost media. So, as always, Group Therapy Podcast is brought to you by Are You Game? The best comic book, video game, magic, role-playing, etc. toy store in all of Piqua, Ohio. I keep doing that, 45353. At 124 North Sunset Drive, Piqua, Ohio, 45356. Oh, I have to do this because we talked about lost media. We just talked about this. My friend Robbie dropped off 7 boxes of VHS tapes. Ooh. All recorded off of television. I just recently started going through them. There's a lot of stuff. It's about 10 years worth of television, but it's not going back that far. It goes to it looks like probably well, maybe not 10 years, about 7 years. So it goes because I found some episodes of like Frasier and stuff like that, and Desperate Housewives and Lost and a bunch of stuff like that, all on these tapes so far.
Lost is now retro TV.
And the thing is, though, and this also has all the commercials. This is recorded directly from TV, and it's funny because they were trying to record, and it looks like over the air on some of the stuff because they were trying to record UPN. For those of you who don't know, UPN merged with the WB network, and that's why we got the CW network. UPN was the United Paramount Network, and that's where that's where Star Trek went at one point. I have.
It's where you learned to. You grew up watching Saturday morning cartoons. Some of them.
No, not on UPN.
Oh. You were watching the monster movies on UPN. I think.
No, that was way later. UPN didn't come around until I was an adult. USA Network was where I watched all the monster movies.
My brain got mixed up.
So, but. No, there's episodes of Voyager recorded off of television. It's staticky. It's ghosting and stuff like that. For those who don't know, back in the day, you used to have to take your dial, and you would have to, when you were going over the air, you know how your signal either comes in or it doesn't. With digital, you had to move antennas and adjust your dial and try to tune it in to get the best quality channel you could get. And some of these channels you couldn't get for nothing. They were all blurry or they were all ghosty or staticky or whatever. But yeah, so I've got 7 boxes of about. I probably have about 700 VHS tapes to go through.
That's a whole lot.
I'm probably gonna start. I think the computer that we do all the editing and stuff on here, that will probably become my computer because it's the family computer right now. My computer, and then I'm going to hook up a VCR to it, and I'm going to do some stuff over here so I can start transferring it all over. And at least if I can take all that, I can take all the goofy ass commercials, the late 90s, early 2000s commercials. So. But that's one project we got going. And I have to say, give a shout out to Kenny and Mick and Adam, our Patreons. I know we only have a whopping 3. Which is funny because technically, if you go through our thing, we only have one, but that's Adam. But the other two actually come to my shop and give me money for the show. Kenny just dropped off a big chunk of money, which we're going to go buy a new freaking camera because this camera I bought is garbage. It does a decent picture and it works okay when you can get it to work.
The problem is that it'll be running and then it'll stop with no warning, and that's why we have so many technical difficulties.
Yeah, like last time. But I want to. Yeah.
You're lucky. Table's cut off. That would have been mighty embarrassing.
Shit happens. But all right. I hope everybody had a good New Year. I literally spent the night just watching TV, and we went out to. Me and your mom went to go get food. And the wait at Texas Roadhouse for our food was almost 2 hours.
Brutal.
They're like ordering your food, and it says like on the thing, it says, "Oh, it's like a 37-minute wait." Then it's a 48. You know, it starts going, and it starts getting longer and longer and longer on how long, when you can get your food. And then they still fucked up our food. I didn't get my food, and we had to go back and get our drinks. And then I didn't notice that we were missing food till we got back. And then I was like, oh, fuck it. I'm not going all the way back here. So we didn't go back and get my... I didn't go get my what's funny is I ordered French fries with cheese and bacon. They put the cheese and bacon in the bag, but didn't put the French fries. So I have these little cups of cheese and bacon. So you know what I did? I threw them in mashed potatoes and had cheesy bacon and mashed potatoes.
That's how you do it.
Yeah. Hey.
Adapt. Overcome.
Yeah, when life gives you lemons, freeze them some bitches into it in life. Because realistically, you need more than lemons to make lemonade. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
When life gives you lemons, you shave them into... you take lemon shavings and you make a really good food out of it.
No, well, yeah, you put... lemon zest.
Yeah.
You lemon zest.
The lemon zest, orange zest, lime zest. Put it in your food. It's good.
Okay. I want to talk about something. This is a little late because this was Christmas. And it actually was on Joe Bob Saves Christmas. But I have to point this out to people. The movie Deadly Games. It's a... it's a foreign film. But this movie right here is the basis... They actually went to sue because it was Home Alone was so close to this. It's about a little rich kid who lives in his house full of toys and stuff like that with his grandpa, and for some reason this homeless guy decides he wants to be Father Christmas and starts hunting the little kid down, and you don't know why the crazy Santa Claus is hunting the little kid down. There's a scene where he's laughing and spray painting his hair white because he's actually got a big bushy black beard and black hair. It's uber creepy because you kind of think that the guy might be, the creeper. But, well, he is a creeper. He's obviously a creeper because he's trying to get the little kid and little kid's setting up booby traps and shit, just like what it ended up being.
It's like Home Alone, but weirder.
Yeah, but because it's like from Norway.
Like, what rating is it?
Oh, it's rated R.
So it's, if you've ever thought, man, Kevin should have just like planted some buckshot.
It is definitely, because I'm sitting there trying to read this, and I don't know, because if you were at home, you can read that sumbitch. That is not in English. But
does the movie have like an English dub or English
subtitles? No, it's subtitled.
That's how you enjoy foreign films. On one hand, actually, no. You should enjoy a movie in its native language.
No, okay, hold on. I am 90% yes, but there's that small 10% where the Americanized vocal,
like the dub
is great, and it's the one that sticks in your head. Such as
Cromartie High School is like one of the few dubs where we're like, yeah, I'll watch the dub.
Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Because you cannot see Spike, you cannot see Jet, you can't see Faye.
It's like Steve Bloom is Spike Spiegel.
Yeah, that's whose voice you hear if you see them, even if it's in Japanese. Mm-hmm. I got to go see the Cowboy Bebop movie in a theater, and
Knocking on Heaven's Door.
It was the subtitled version. So,
and it was like weird because you're like, hey, this isn't Steve Bloom.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, your brain still like wants to like fill in the voice, and it takes place between episodes too. So the movie takes place, I think, between like episodes 22 and 23, if I'm not mistaken. But it's been a long time since I've sat down and watched all of them. Well, I've watched all of Cowboy Bebop about a year ago when I bought the Blu-ray box set. Mm-hmm. But I had the movie on Blu-ray long before I had the Blu-ray box set. So I watched that, but I need to sit there and rewatch them all in order again.
Yeah.
And I also did my traditional Christmas thing this year that I do every year. I watched the Star Wars Holiday Special. I will watch the Star Wars Holiday Special every year until I die. I did watch the Doctor Who New Year's special, which I have to do that. Which I missed the Christmas specials, but now it is what it is. It's New Year's. They just announced today that Jodie Whittaker is leaving the role after the end of this season. She is she's retiring the Doctor. She's given it 3 years and done. Mm-mm. So, I mean, I'm not going to say this because me and your mom had this discussion. I'm not saying Jodie Whittaker is a bad Doctor Who. She's fine. But she's
saying the stuff she was given to work with is weaker?
No, I'm thinking she does not have the charisma as some of the other ones. She's a Colin Baker, a Sylvester McCoy. She's not on.
They didn't give her like a whole lot of like extra like her doctor is just good.
Yeah,
she just is a good.
The worst part about it is my favorite character from this series with Jodie Whittaker is the guy Graham, the grandpa on the show who's just the old man, and he's great. I love that guy. I can't even remember his name off the top of my head, and I'm gonna kick myself. And I gotta.
What? The best doctors all had something that like set them apart from the other doctors.
The thing is though is there are people. Okay, you had Tennant, you had Smith, you had Tom Baker.
I can't remember the ninth doctor's name.
Christopher Eccleston.
Yeah, he was more of like a darker kind of edgy.
Yeah, and then you had Peter Capaldi. You had these guys with these huge personalities, and
Jodie is just nice.
Yeah,
good doctor.
She's just a nice person, and you're like, oh, okay.
Like, there's nothing complicated. There's nothing like. It's not bad. It's just not compelling. It's not. There's not really a struggle for her to.
Yeah, and the thing is they started screwing with the Doctor's origins in this season, and it just doesn't. I don't know. And then the worst part about it is they brought back they murdered off the Master.
Again?
Because the Master murdered off the Master because Missy was the Master, but the Master didn't want to become Missy because Missy became friends with the Doctor again, and the Master didn't like that, so he murdered himself as Missy, so that... And I'm like, oh, yeah. Brandon Walsh, or Bradley Walsh, that is Graham. That is my favorite character from the current Doctor Who. And he left the show. So I'm going to be bummed with this next, because he left at the end of the New Year's episode. So I am not the Revolution of the Daleks. Daleks are great villains. You can't go wrong with the Daleks. Yeah. What I'll tell you what's weird is I've read a lot of the Doctor Who books, and it's funny because everything's printed normally until the Daleks speak, and then they change the font. So it's funny, but your brain just stares at it, and you're like, I don't want to see that.
This is like you have to like double take because of the.
Oh yeah. But
because like your brain don't expect it. You know, books pretty uniform, but then all of a sudden this font change, and you're like,
yep, yeah, and it is a really hard font change too. You're just like, oh, okay, yeah, because it's like exterminate. You hear that in your head too. You're So I mean, like I said, I'm not hating. I mean, there's people freaking hate this whole.
It's because she's a woman.
Well, yeah, there was people who hate it because she's a woman, but there are people who just hated this season, and I'm like, it's not. I can't hate on it because it's not. It's entertaining. It's not as entertaining as previous Doctors.
I will admit, like, Jodie had some pretty unintentionally funny episodes.
Yeah,
like the giant spiders episode.
Yeah, it's Jodie Whittaker. Like I said, if you want to find a great movie with Jodie Whittaker, go find Attack the Block, because it has Jodie Whittaker and John Boyega.
Young John Boyega.
Young John Boyega. It has Fenn and the Doctor in it fighting alien dog, glow-in-the-dark dog.
Aliens that are based off of the side of the cabinet art of Space Invaders.
Yeah, they look like...
They're based off those big furry gorilla men.
They look like space baboons.
Yeah.
Yeah, space baboons.
Attack the Block is a great movie.
Okay, so I found this out. Okay, if you've been watching the Mandalorian, one of the X-Wing pilots is an older Asian man. Read that guy's name there, Brandon.
Paul Sun-Hyung Lee. I don't know how to pronounce.
I don't want to butcher the Korean language.
I think that's Sun. I think Sun is pronounced kind of like
Paul Sun-Hyung Lee.
I could be.
That guy has one of the best names ever because his first name is Paul and his last name is Lee. Actually, that's like his anglicized name. That's like
similar to what Bruce Lee did.
Yeah, and Jim Lee and Jay Lee and Stan Lee and
they were just like, it's right, Lee.
I remember in the early '90s when I met Stan Lee for like the first time. He was sitting there and he was signing my name and he goes, "Who did I sign this?" I was like, "Paul." And he, "What's your last name?" I said, "Lee." And he's like, "Ha, really?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "When are you gonna start working in comics?" I was like, I probably won't never be on that side. I was like, I'll be on the side selling. And he goes, and I was like, and it's actually Lee. It's my last name is Lee. And he goes, yeah. He goes, mine's not. He goes, I don't think there's anybody in the comic book business whose last name is Lee is actually Lee. I was like, well, I should be the only Lee that actually is Paul Lee.
And then you did, and because you are like you've written comics that didn't come out.
I've got artwork for him.
Yeah,
stuff like that. It's funny, Jay. So I love Jay. Shout out to Jay Cordry. Yes, Jay. I'm going to shout out to you. Matter of fact, Jay's going to be a guest sometime down the road, and we're going to do the all G.I. Joe episode.
Real American Hero.
Yes, because we both are hardcore G.I. Joe fans, and we're going to do an episode talk about G.I. Joe. So
we'll probably show up just to talk about how good Renegades was.
Oh, Renegades was awesome. I just rewatched that again at the shop the other day. So, okay, a little bit of information. Every Saturday at my shop, we open at 11. We open at 1. We close at 8. I run Saturday morning cartoons every day. From open till close.
People would just be sitting there watching them.
People will get into it. Like this week I was watching Mighty Orbots. Mm-hmm. And what was the other one I was watching? I'm drawing a blank. That's horrible. Young Justice.
Young Justice is also really
good. And then I just watched some random cartoons. And then at the end of the day, like if I only have like a half hour or something like that, I turn music on, so we listen to music at the end of the day. Because if not, then if you're watching cartoons, people tend to mill about, and we want to keep the flow going, so people don't just stand there and watch cartoons with you. So, but no, it's like I mean I've watched everything from because I have literally I hoard Saturday morning cartoons. So I have I have paper boxes, like the big reams of paper.
Mm-hmm.
I have those full of DVDs and Blu-rays for Saturday morning cartoons. I have everything from Thundar the Barbarian and Scooby-Doo and... What are you looking at?
Something, a dot up there.
Oh. Like, even Scooby-Doo. Like, I got Scooby-Doo. I have Space Stars. And I have just tons of stuff. And every Saturday, boom, Saturday morning cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
I even do some like I got Transformers. Mm-hmm. I have all the seasons of the original Transformers Gen 1.
Mm-hmm.
That's including the 3 seasons from Japan that we didn't get in here in America. So was that Master Force, Victory, and Headmasters?
Hooray! Lots of great taste!
And a whole lot more.
Lots of wild taste! More!
What's the super taste?
More! Kool-Aid! More! Kool-Aid! Lots of great taste!
And a whole lot.
Lots of great taste! Lots of great taste! Lots of great taste!
And a whole lot more.
Oh, yeah! Kool-Aid!
Oh, wow. And a whole lot more.
Hello, Bumbo. I'm looking for David. Have you seen him? No. Okay, Bumbo. I take it David doesn't like his cereals. That's the thing? Yeah. Okay. Is there anything that David wants for breakfast in particular? Is it Kellogg's Corn Flakes, Bumbo? Those are Daddy's Corn Flakes. Okay. Help yourself. Are you happy now? Yeah.
Kellogg's Corn Flakes is part of this nutritious breakfast.
Okay, what's the story now, Bumbo? David wants more because Bumbo ate the first bowl, right? Okay, you got it.
And welcome back.
Whoa, what?
What now? Man, I tell you what's kind of cool and what's not kind of cool is, like I said, we went. Your brothers went to go see Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm. I was at home playing video games.
Yeah, and your mom was sitting here watching Wonder Woman while we were there. And we went to the theaters. We actually got our asses out, went to the theaters, went and seen it because I like seeing movies on the big screen.
You guys were about the only people there.
No, it was actually pretty. But the way they had everything separated out, everybody was spaced out. It's funny because now all these people are like, especially Mick. I'm just going to be a shout out to Mick. Mick's sitting there going, "Well, I have HBO." I was like, "Well, you have HBO Max then." And then I get a message, "Oh, I got HBO Max the entire time." So he sat there and watched Wonder Woman. People were wondering because I've been reading, everybody's just giving this movie shit, and no, it's not as good as the first Wonder Woman. The first Wonder Woman is probably the best DC movie since like Batman.
Since the Nolan trilogy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the current DC movies, I want to say Wonder Woman is probably the best. Wonder Woman 84, this is going to go back, I probably said this again, you can tell there was reshoots, you can tell all this stuff, but was the movie a good movie?
Was it a fun, bad movie?
Yeah, it's a fun, bad movie. I wouldn't even say it's bad. It's a fun movie. It's yet again when we get to that. It's what I like to refer to as the Fast and the Furious
popcorn
movies. It's a popcorn movie. I enjoyed it. It was what it was. I mean, I like Gal Gadot in it. I like Chris Pine in it. I mean, Kristen Wiig was good in it. Everybody was good in it.
It's just the movie itself.
The movie itself was awkward, but it was what it was. So you know what? I don't care. I like good bad movies. I don't like bad good movies. Whatever. I would much rather go see Wonder Woman again than go see Avatar. Yeah. I don't like Avatar. I mean, this is going to be blasphemy for a lot of you, but the only reason that Avatar was any good was because it looked cool because it was in 3D. It's
the world's highest grossing movie that everyone immediately forgot.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything about Avatar other than unobtainium? You don't. Don't lie to yourself.
I will tell you one thing I remember about it. The toys. The toys were really cool for one thing and one thing only.
They were in scale with G.I. Joe.
Yes, they were. I
You could
have.
have Duke pilot those cool mechs.
That's what I got. I actually think Duke is in one of the mechs in my toy collection. The weird helicopter thing. I think I got Wild Bill.
Well, that don't count because that's not actually in the movie. That's the marketing. That's the toys.
But the toys appeared in the movie. So,
That's fair.
it had Sigourney Weaver in it.
Sigourney Weaver's just good in anything.
Sigourney Weaver's always good.
She made Aliens 3 bearable. Kind of. Eh.
You know what? You go back and okay. I went.
Aliens 3 is also like a funny bad movie, I think.
Well, Aliens 3 is weird because I have the box set with both versions in it, and I would love to see us actually ever get the David Fincher cut. I guess the one cut is as close as we'll ever get, but it's literally David Fincher is like, "Yep, fuck it, nope, I ain't doing it, nope."
To be fair, I wouldn't want to touch Joss Whedon's weird alien fan fiction either.
Well, it's like finding out that Michael Biehn made more money for them to use his likeness in Aliens 3 than he made to be in Aliens. Okay, but here's the thing about Aliens oh my god, that movie had potential. I don't think it should have been the follow-up to Aliens. And I don't think they should have killed off Newt and Hicks. If that would have been a movie where the three of them crashed on the planet, because that would have gave even creepier vibe. Because it's a prison planet. You have what was Newt, 11, 12 years old?
Well, it's because the actress had grown up and they didn't want to recast her. So they were like, fuck it. Kill the little girl.
Well, she hadn't grown that much. It wasn't that big of a jump, but you could still had her been like, oh, she aged in hypersleep or something like that. Do something. But you could have had it been creepy because you could have had all them prisoners trying to get to her like they were trying to get to Ripley at one point. You could have had that whole thing on top of
So what you're saying is we could have had aliens killing pedophiles on screen.
Yes.
Yes.
Nothing like in watching dead pedophiles. Oh my god. Well, it's like somebody posted was the meme where it has the guy slapping the top of the car and it goes, oh, this gets so many blah blah, and it has him slapping the top of a chipper shredder and it goes, this thing eats so many pedophiles. I'm like, remember, you feed them through feet first so they can feel it all the way through. So
I'm going to go back in time and convince Frank Sinatra to go through with it.
fucking punch fucking...
Yeah.
That's what's great. Frank Sinatra, all it would take was Mia Farrow going, yeah, Frank. But she decided she'd take the high road, and that's why...
That's why we still have Woody Allen.
That's why we still have Woody Allen. So, I don't know. I've never... I don't think I've... Even before I knew all this stuff about Woody Allen, I don't think I ever liked a Woody Allen movie in my life. And I know there's people like, oh, gosh, whatever. There are what people call the best art films, by these master... Let
me tell you, if it's... there are a few movies that will ever be as funny as Airplane.
Goddamn right, Airplane.
Woody Allen, haven't even heard of him. Airplane, just watch Airplane instead.
You could watch Airplane and Caddyshack. And
watch Blazing Saddles. Watch any
Yo,
Brooks film.
Holy crap. It wasn't up until relatively recently that I found out that Warner Brothers, in spite of Mel Brooks, when Blazing Saddles came out, they had basically there was these loopholes in the contract and stuff. So if there was actively a TV series in production, the wording was way off on this, that Warner Brothers can keep the rights and can do basically make sequels and do this stuff. Well, Mel Brooks went in, made the movie. He was like, this is how it ends, blah, 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 whatever. It doesn't really need anything. Warner Brothers continued to make a Black Bart, which was what Blazing Saddles started out with, TV series with Louis Gossett Jr. For years. For it never to see the light of day, only to maintain the rights. There's one episode, which is the pilot episode, which appears on the box set of Blazing Saddles. But I guess they did like 6 episode seasons, and for 3 seasons, there's like 18 episodes of this out there somewhere.
So what you're saying is, if you have this series somehow, if you have like it on like an old roll of film, or if
I
you
would
have like
love to see, because I've
VHSs.
seen the pilot. It is bad.
Oh no!
And the worst part about it is Louis Gossett Jr. is a good actor. I mean, he was.
It's just that it was very, very clearly just made for the sake of being made.
Yes, it was very clearly made to maintain the rights. It's not good. That's like one thing. Like, there's an abomination that is the Clerks live action TV pilot with Jim Brewer.
Oh no!
It is horrid. It's almost as bad as the live action American Red Dwarf pilot.
Oh no!
Red Dwarf is as British as you get. Because it's... I love Red Dwarf. I love Red Dwarf. Red
Dwarf is one of the funniest. It's one of the few good things the Brits have made.
Well, no, the British have made a lot of good... I mean, we got James Bond, we got Doctor Who, we got the Avengers.
Can you name anything else?
Faulty Towers, Monty Python.
All right, fine.
I can keep going. Blake 7. But there's a... It's funny because you know why. It's like sitting down here. Me and Joe were watching the side by side comparison of the American IT Crowd pilot and the actual first episode of the IT Crowd, and I felt bad for I'm gonna butcher his name. The guy who plays Moss, Richard Anawati or something.
Something.
Yeah, I can never
Richard something.
I'm sorry, but yeah, he plays Moss on there. He came to America to play the same character, and he's like, "Yeah, I should never have done that."
This is horrible.
It's bad. It is so bad. And the first part about it's got Joel McHale. Joel McHale, like all 6'6" jacked Joel McHale, playing the Chris O'Dowdry character from freaking, and I'm like, you don't have the casting was way off, and
they were just like, we need funny man in funny show.
Yeah, I like Joel McHale. Oh man, I'm not okay. Hold on a second. Speaking of Joel McHale, your mom and I watched the Fox New Year's Eve celebration, which had Joel McHale, Ken Jeong, and Kelly Osbourne. And Ken and Joel are hammered.
Oh no!
Like just
They're
wasted.
just slammed. They're just like,
and you're just watching it, and they you know it's a train wreck because these guys are screwed up. And they're sitting there and they're cracking jokes about, hey, why'd you go get Seacrest? And they're like sitting there yelling at her to like poke fun like on TV. And the thing is that you're watching the New York, which, usually the streets are packed and there's like 20 people like milling about. And it's funny, but yeah, those two guys are hammered. They try to do an interview with there's Jason Biggs from American Pie and stuff like. He comes on there, and because he's got a new game show.
just like, fuck.
Oh man, it is a horrible train wreck. But that's another thing, man. 2020. Why do we get so many stupid fucking the return of primetime game shows? Well, I don't.
Nobody wants game shows.
Oh my god.
You will never beat The Price is Right.
The Price is Right, and Jeopardy, and Wheel of Fortune. And on lesser low, Press Your Luck. Because you go, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies, bam! Whammy. Ah. So, that's like watching the thing when they were talking with the guys who figured out how to cheat on game shows. The guy who figured out how not to get whammies. So the dude won like a shitload of money, and then he went backstage, and they're like, "How'd you do it?" And he explained how he did it, and they're like, "Oh, you can't have this money." and there's
It's like counting cards.
You didn't tell me I couldn't do that.
Where does it say in the contract that I can't do that?
Where does it say I can't cheat? Why, you sons of bitches.
What's that? Like, it's simple, like, just timing. It's just like,
yeah, because
if
if you
it
can
takes
watch it
so
you just
long to stop, you like, it's just time. If it takes so long to stop, you essentially, it's like counting cards.
Yeah,
it's technically cheating, but they don't want you to do it, so they say it's cheating.
Your great grandpa used to be able to count cards. He was good at that. So,
if any casinos are listening, I totally don't advocate for counting cards. Don't pay me in advance.
Hey, literally the only reason I go to casinos is stand behind your mom and I sit there and stare at the screen on the slot machines because my brain is trying to find a pattern to everything. There's no pattern to it, but my brain is still trying to see that pattern. And
casinos will do casinos are literally cheating.
Yeah,
because no matter what you do, the odds are in the casino's favor, which is why I totally 100% don't advocate counting cards.
Me and your mom went to, and I went to an actual casino, not one of the ones around here, one over in Indiana, and they had actual like poker tables and blackjack tables and stuff like that.
I want to play poker, like at some point, because like I legitimately do like card games. Like,
I used to love playing poker. I used to be really good at it. Mm-hmm. I used to take people's money all the time.
And then mom would get mad at you and make you give it back.
Yeah, I got in trouble for that in high school too. I
don't claim to be good at poker, but I just like it. It's fun.
I was good at it because I can just...
If there's like a poker minigame in a video game, I will play that minigame. And I will play the shit out of it.
That's always fun. Mm-hmm. All right. I do have to do an announcement. I just seen just a few minutes ago. Tanya Roberts died. That's the first one. Midge from That 70s Show. Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, and the James Bond girl. I can't remember which James Bond girl she was. Died, and it sucks. Goddamn. Although, like I said, I don't think it's going to be mid-year before 2021 is any better than 2020, because we still got to get past all the bullshit until we can start getting everything pushed aside. We were talking about conventions recently. I think there might be some small comic book shows and maybe some small toy shows, but the big ones, I don't think we're going to get them till next year.
That makes sense.
There's some that are already scheduled for late year.
But even then...
Yeah, there's like concerts. I'm looking at some of these concerts that they're rescheduling. They're rescheduling for August, September, October. And I'm like, yeah, I doubt it happens. I want it to happen. Believe me, I want to go see. I mean, we were supposed to go see, in this moment, Alice Cooper, Clutch.
Not a big In This Moment fan.
Faith No More.
But I want to see Clutch and I want to see Faith No More.
We were supposed to go see Faith No More. We were supposed to see...
I'm a big Mike Patton fan. Oh, fuck. Not just his Faith No More stuff, but also his voice acting career.
Yeah. Yeah, we were supposed to go see a lot of bands this year. And then, but that's what's... that's the world we live in for right now. I don't think we're going to get any big concerts.
Like I joked about, when all this COVID stuff is over, I'm keeping social distancing.
I like social distancing.
Stay away from me, people.
Mick was making fun of you doing that. He was sitting there going, I think that's the best thing Brandon's ever said. Stay away from me.
Don't stand so close to me.
I'll just turn around, look at people, go social distance, and then I'll go back to doing what I'm doing because people like ride up on your ass while you're walking through stores, or especially when I'm at the shop and I'm trying to do something. People have to be like, "Can you?" No, like, and I just keep walking backwards from them.
Just be like, personal space, dude.
I don't understand why personal space. That was always the personal space bubble. That's great because that's supposed to be 3 feet anyways. So my personal space bubble is 3 feet. Your personal space bubble is 3 feet. That's 6 feet. That's perfect. Mm-hmm. So
stay the fuck out of my personal space.
Oh man,
don't want you motherfuckers breathing
I
on
used
me.
to have a boss that would sit there and he would walk up and he'd start talking to you and he would keep getting closer and closer and I'd start backing up. And literally one time I backed up, stepped up on a skid, continued to back up across the skid, and he's still walking towards the skid, and he steps on the skid. I'm like, you knew. I'm like, what the hell, man? I was like,
it's a lot of bosses.
Oh,
Like, it's probably like either an intimidation thing or a superiority thing.
well, the ones
Is like, well, I'm the boss. I can do.
we had one boss that
Got
would get,
muscle.
that would get all he'd have to like grab you, and I almost punched him one day because I worked in a printing company, and Bone can attest to this. So this is a shout out to Bone. You're sticking stacks of paper 6 inches thick into a clamp that comes down and will put 2 tons of pressure on a stack of paper while this giant blade slices through the paper. A blade will go through and cut 6 inches of paper in one cut. This big blade is razor sharp. It's 50 pounds, and but yeah. So you're sitting there, and I'm running this, and he comes up and he grabs my shoulders,
Like both, like just
like yeah. He goes, hi, and I running this machine. I turn around, I knock his hands off because I don't know who it is. And I'm like, you don't fucking do that. And I drew back on him, and then I realized it was my boss.
don't fuck. You're gonna throw hands.
There's just, you don't do that shit. That is, that would, I mean, I've pinched my fingers. Because you're sitting there, you're trying to line up paper. And sometimes you got to take off a 16th or a 32nd. And that's how sharp that blade is. It'll slice through and take a 32nd of an inch off of a sheet of paper. Well, you're sitting there trying to get that in there, and I hit the thing, and the clamp came down and pinched the ends of my fingers and my thumb. And it hurt. Made blood blisters and shit down there. So you're always like worried. It's a definitely,
Because it's not a thing you manually start. It's when you are in a time limit.
No, you push it forward, and then you press down on this pedal, and then the clamp comes down. You let off of that, and then you hit these 2 buttons on either side, and then the blade comes down.
The way you
and
were describing it, I thought it was like you're on a time limit, like,
No. And then there's lights, sensors, and shit like that. But it's still a dangerous thing.
Dangerous piece of machinery.
Because you can crush your hand real easy. That is, that thing comes down, and it comes down hard and fast. And like, boom, and it pushes down, so none of the paper will move. Mm-hmm. And then that blade can cut through. But it's one of the ones where you're like, what the hell? You don't come up and do that on somebody that's running this machine? Shit, don't do that. So,
I don't care if you're my boss, don't do that.
Oh, he's kind of a dick. He's a dick. And I'm glad I don't work for him.
Shout outs to Dad's dick boss.
Now, my boss above me, I was a press helper and then a pressman, and I was also a cutter.
So if this is the paper company, it's the one that you started, like, you knew exactly.
Dude, that was the place when I left, I could do no wrong. I tried to quit, and they wouldn't let me. My boss, the boss above me, a guy named Jim. Jim, I didn't know how to take Jim at first, but he bent over backwards, and I never asked him to. And I was not probably a pleasant employee at one point. I literally walked up to him and told him that I wasn't going to work overtime anymore. And he's like, well, what if... I'm like, I work like 2 weeks, and once it starts getting past that second week, yeah, that's not going to happen. And he's like, what are you going to do? I was like, I'll quit. And he's just a sheer look of like, oh,
Unionize, people.
yeah, dude. More people need to look at their bosses and go, no, I'm not going to do that, because
When you know what you're doing, and you are...
when you know what you're doing, you know your worth, and you know how important you are. And yeah, everybody's replaceable. I'm not going to lie. You know, there could be people who could take my advice and go, they're like, all right, fucking bye, there's the door. And that's going to happen from time to time. I've looked at places and went, yeah, I'm not going to do that. And they're like, okay, well, bye. I'm like, okay. I walked out.
Treat yourself better.
Yeah, there's always a better job. Always. You may have to take a couple shit jobs before you get the better job, but you will get a better job eventually. You also gotta...
Don't force yourself to work 90 plus hours a week, and 20 of those are unpaid.
Dude, I went, I think it was about a year and a half. I got 5 days off in like a year and a half. And we were working 10 to 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, 8 hours on Sundays. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just lose track of shit. I didn't know what day it was. I didn't know, because literally, especially in the winter, you never see the sun.
Because, yeah, you would come home and you would sleep.
I would come home, sleep, get up, and by the time I'd walk out the door, it'd be dark again. It'd be dark when I got home and it'd be dark when I left. I never saw the sun. I went like a month, didn't see it. I was nasty looking. I was all pale, and I looked like a Nosferatu. I was like, you know, I remember the first day, me and Mark did a comic book show. And it was the first Sunday I'd had off in I don't know how long. And I was like, because I was working third shift. Mm-hmm. So literally, I got off in the morning, went home, took a shower, packed my shit up, did the show.
And then went home.
And then went home and went to sleep, and then got back up. And
went to work.
No, I didn't go to work that night because it was a Sunday. Mm. So I got off because my Saturday morning, but I was like, whatever.
You were like,
I looked like freaking, like I'd never.
You were like a zombie.
Oh, it was horrible. Looked like Gollum. Oh, it's
don't let work destroy you either.
Yeah, you shouldn't live to work. You should, or you shouldn't work to live, and you shouldn't live to work. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you like your job, I get that, but there's also
don't torture yourself.
Yeah, don't torture yourself with your job. I've had jobs I despised, working with people I despised, and I kept the job because I thought I had to. And
Mom was like, "No, you don't."
And then no, I actually got fired from. I'm not gonna lie, I got fired from that job, and literally it was the best thing ever happened to me. It's funny because
that was the protomold. Wait, I shouldn't say that out loud. That's
yeah. But literally, it's funny because I make more now being my own boss.
Should just said that company that did the plastic.
Yeah, I make more money now in 1 week than I used to make in a month at my old job.
What you should do is you should just like go when I say that, you should just like censor bleep it, and it's like beep.
I can do that with the program too, but. Oh yeah. The best thing ever happened to me was getting let go of, and sometimes that's what it takes, is you can be in a job that you fucking hate, you don't think you can get out of it, and you get out of it, and then you're like, ah. As much as my job when I went to work up in Sydney, as much as that job drove me nuts some days, when I worked at the printing company, I liked the most of it.
That's because you could just do whatever.
Well, no, I was. running the press, not necessarily working in binding. Bindery sucked and letter shop sucked. Print shop was pretty good. Yeah. I got everything figured out. If you figured out how to do everything in like smooth, you were good, and it was like a chill job 90% of the time.
You would like listen to music and
oh, dude, I had a stereo. You know, most people bring in a boombox, which I had my boombox. Don't get me wrong, because I didn't want to drag my stereo around with me all the time. I had 3 presses that I worked on, sometimes 4. 2 of them were mine. And so I always kept my stereo locked up in my locker, my little boombox. My boombox was like this long. And I would lock it in my locker, but my main press, I had my desk, and I had a stereo. I had a... Again,
you just had a stereo. And
I had a legit...
In.
I had a legit 2 tape deck.
Chunk work.
I had a record player, had big speakers, and I used to take my phone hook into it, so I'd run my jack to the aux, and I would listen to Pandora and
listen to radio. You listen to a lot of that one radio show.
Dude, I listen to a shit ton of Coast to Coast AM.
That's what I was gonna say. The one crazy conspiracy theory show.
George Norrie. Oh man, no. The one that was on before that was the super conspiracy theory. That's Ground Zero.
Oh,
that's the conspiracy theory guy. And I used to listen to them, and the worst part, I still listen to them occasionally. I don't listen to them as much. I listen to the best of Coast to Coast AM. That's literally how I got into an argument with a couple of really uber religious people I worked with. Because I if you haven't listened to this, I am an atheist. And if you found religion and you go to church.
If religion's made you a better person. Good.
I'm all for you finding something that makes you a better person. But
if
this
you
woman,
use religion to make you a worse person.
Yeah, this one was not a good person, and she's sitting there, and it was talking about they were talking about trying to clone DNA from the Shroud of Turin, and I was like, well, it's not really. It's not real. It's not the burial cloth for Jesus. But I was like, if you're gonna clone a fictional character from a book, why don't you clone Harry Potter? He's like, he almost died for our sins twice. No, but like I said, if you find religion and you got religion, and I don't care what religion, if it makes you a better person, good on you. Good on you. I think if you find anything that makes you a better person, good on you. Mm-hmm. Ironically enough, what made me a better person was my kids. Mm-hmm. That's right. I love my kids. My wife made me a better person. My wife and kids made me a better person. So I guess they're my religion. I do live and die for you guys. Yeah. So
family love. We are a family show.
We are a
motherfucking family show on here.
Oh, shit. Oh, okay. I know what I was going to tell you. Everybody started getting their stimulus, $600 stimulus checks because Walmart had their entire aisle of $500 to $600 TVs all down the aisle by electronics.
I'm probably going to use my money to get a PS5. I've been eyeballing, thinking about getting a PS5.
I can't do a PS5 yet. I still got to wait. They're still having issues. They're still bricking for no apparent reason. It's not like one game will make it brick or anything like that. So, is the cat over there arguing with the dog?
Yeah.
Yep. So, all right. On that note, we're gonna pause for
one last intermission
after these messages.
We'll return right after these messages.
Pogo ball is what they call it when you're hopping and bopping everywhere. Pogo ball is what they call it when you're rocking and rolling in the air. So get on a pogo and get off the wall. A pogo is the thing to do. Pogo is my favorite way to have a ball. And pogo ball's the thing for you. Yeah. Pogo ball is what they call it. Pogo ball is what they call it. My favorite way to have a ball.
Listen, guys, the afternoon stretch on 33's Fun Shine Festival is just fantastic. First, do you need any ghosts taken care of? If you do, the Ghostbusters are on the job at 3:30. Then Flash Gordon and buddies are here at 4. They're on guard in Defenders of the Earth. With an arsenal to go, these guys are all over the place. At 4:30, go with the Centurions. Come on, the afternoons are a blast on the Funshine Festival. And remember, 33 loves kids.
You're looking at Cobra's new high-speed attacker, the Cobra Stun.
Look, it's a G.I. Joe recon sled. After him.
The Cobra Stun holds 11 Cobra soldiers.
Cobra!
And during battle with the Joes, the front end of the stun can separate to take them on.
It's really dangerous, Cobra Stun. Really dangerous to G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe. American hero.
Live the adventure of G.I. Joe. Cobra Stun comes with...
And we are back. You know what? I think I'm about putting PSAs at the ends of our episodes, like episodes of G.I. Joe and He-Man and stuff like that. Except for putting a bad one. See, I was going to do these years ago, and I was going to do the Cobra public service announcements, and I was going to come out dressed up like a dreadnought, like Ripper or something like that, and have these kids come up and like there's this like good looking girl, and they're like talking to her, and they're like, whoa kids, remember the best looking hookers is always cops. And now you know, Cobra! It's like,
no, it's half the battle. Cobra!
Yeah. And we were going to do stupid shit like that. I actually scripted, I don't know, like a half a dozen of them at one time. Oh, shut up, dog. Oh, because she's getting excited. She heard us over here making noises.
No, Abby down.
So, but yeah, we were going to do the PSAs. Well, we can still put PSAs in there. We can put like the old school, like, timer where you can do the...
Oh, Abby, don't be messing with that.
So
she hit the camera. We're all slightly cattywampus now, as you would say.
We're topsy-turvy and cattywampus. All right. So, I can actually do this now. All right. DC Comics.
Before we begin.
Oh.
Goodbye,
okay.
2020.
Okay. Look at this. This is Iron Man 2020 from the far-flung year of 2020. From Matt, and we're gonna knock him over. Because we're gonna...
No more 2020.
No more 2020. Get rid of Iron Man 2020 there. Okay. So, I can get my DC Comics a full week in advance. Because, perks of owning your own store.
Mm-hmm.
So, alright. I'm going to talk about... right now... No, this is Dark Knight's Death Metals... Number 7, the final issue of that.
It's the Jehoka Batman.
It's the Bat Who Laughs. I'm not gonna lie, I really like this. The first series, the first Death Metal series, or Dark Knight's Metal series, I was disappointed in it. This one took a little time, but.
It started off kind of, but it grew stronger as time went on.
When they started adding like the Robin King and some of the new villains, I really started liking it. And this one it ties up and ends such everything. This does lead directly into Future State. Which Future State will drop technically this Wednesday. Check out your local comic book stores on...
Would you believe that DC doesn't sponsor us?
Yeah, DC doesn't sponsor us. The only thing is that I'm literally going to show you the DC comics that I personally buy. I buy Death Metal. I got the new Future State Wonder Woman. With the new Wonder Woman, Joelle Jones, I really like her art, which is funny because it wasn't up until like the other day when Mark goes, "Oh yeah, we've met her," and I'm like, "Oh shit, we did," because she did like Helheim, and I'm a fan of this book. It's not like having a super cocky Wonder Woman who's like, "Yeah, I can do that. I ain't got a problem with that." I don't want to give anything away. I'm not going to give you. Especially since this book doesn't come out till Wednesday. If you're watching this on before then, or if you haven't got your books yet, I'm not gonna ruin it. That's one thing that bothers me about people who do reviews and like basically ruin the entire book. They show you the big fight scenes or whatever. The artwork is pretty good. The artwork is really good. I really like the artwork. I really like the design of the Wonder Woman, the new Wonder Woman, and this is one I'm glad I picked up. I picked up all of them. I just said screw it and said I just want all the future states. So I got all the variants and everything. Harley Quinn is actually, I'm digging the future state Harley Quinn, because the weird team up that's in this book. Mm-hmm. Harley Quinn and Professor Crane team up to stop crime. I don't want to give too much away yet again. Like I said, I don't want to review a book. I'll tell you those two I really liked. Flash. I think this book has a lot of potential. And there's only a few issues that to actually show that potential. But I'm getting tired of... I mean, Wally is the bad guy. And I'm tired of them shitting on Wally West. I went years where Wally West was my Flash. And now they're like, whatever. Swamp Thing. It's a super weird, dark Mike Perkins artwork. Let's see. This very much Ram V is the writer. This book definitely has a Alan Moore feel to it, or a post Alan Moore feel. Mm-hmm. When like Stephen Bissett did it and stuff like that, I dig that one. Ironically enough, I can't review these because I haven't got to them yet. But Superman of Metropolis is the basically Superboy book. Jonathan Kent, The Guardian, and Mr. Miracle. It looks really good. I'm digging the artwork so far. But like I said, I haven't got a chance to read this one yet because I literally get a stack of books like that damn thick every week that I read. But I just want to give you a heads up. This is the one that I'm going to, basically as soon as we're done with this podcast, I'm going to read it, which is the next Batman. And this is looking super good.
Right, this is totally like maximum fan service right now.
I'm not gonna lie, right there.
Yeah, we're not gonna show it on camera.
Yeah, Outsiders.
Radical.
Yep. So it's looking great.
I was just like, when.
Yep. Sergeant Rock is teaming up with yeah.
Don't spoil it. It's not even out yet. Don't spoil it.
And Generation Shattered, which is the old Batman, Kamandi, Green Lantern, Sinestro, Superboy, Steel, 1980s Starfire, Booster Gold, Dr. Light.
You're going to need to censor that out. Like, have a censor bleep when you say that out loud. Because this book literally isn't out yet.
This book does not... Like I said, this book will not be out on stands until... Wednesday. Every comic book Wednesday. Like I said, I get mine early only because I have a shop. And I'm not breaking any street dates or nothing because these are not sold to any customers. These are mine. So...
But that's why you gotta censor it out.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, right now, The Flash is the only one I'm really disappointed in. But it's... I think it could be better, but I just have... I hate the way DC likes to shit on Wally West.
I also grew up with Wally West because I grew up with the Justice League cartoon, and that Flash was Wally.
Well, yeah, it has the greatest scene ever with the great brain robbery. I finally forgot who the Flash is. I have no idea who this is.
And then conversely, with Flash and Lex Luthor's body, he's like he leaves the bathroom and like I don't remember Magnet guy.
Dr. Polaris.
He's like, hey, you're not gonna wash your hands?
No,
because I'm evil. And I love the bit because a lot of shows will, like, if characters switch bodies, they'll, like, gain that other character's voice to sort of, like, help the audience differentiate.
Yeah.
But not here.
No.
So we get Clancy Brown, who's the best Lex Luthor. And also one of the greatest voice actors of all time.
That's one of my favorite.
But we get Clancy Brown saying no, 'cause I'm evil.
What's best is, as I love every year on I'm gonna take the dog outside.
All right, keep talking to the camera.
Yeah. So every year at on like Superman Day, somebody will post it. It's probably old as shit, but it's something posted on Twitter. It's when Superman Day, and it'll be like Clancy Brown says, "Fuck that guy." Michael Rosenbaum agrees. And it goes down the whole list of everybody who's been Lex Luthor. So I love that.
I've been replaying a lot of Batman Arkham Knight recently. I've been upstairs playing that about all day because I bought it because it was like stupid on sale because of the Steam Winter Sale. And
well, it's a super cheap game. How cheap is it on Steam?
Literally $5.
I think it's cheaper if you bought a physical copy of it.
I already own a physical copy, but Vincent has put that physical copy through hell.
What? I can just clean it up.
Besides, $5. It also came with all the DLC.
Yeah, okay. I think it's funny because Arkham Knight got a lot of shit.
Arkham Knight was great.
But
everybody hated the Batmobile tank segments.
Mm-hmm.
And they're weird. I'll give them that. They get a little bit repetitive. But everything else about the game is really good. Spoiler alert for a game that's been out since 2015. 5-year-old game. But I honestly did not mind the Batmobile tank segments. What I did mind was the fact that Deathstroke was fucked over. His boss fight is a tank boss fight. He jumps out of the tank like he's got a sword ready. You think, oh man, we're going to get a sweet boss fight. And then Batman tackles him out of the air. And then it cuts to GCPD and Deathstroke's arrested. And I'm like, what?
This is what kills me is they made such a big deal about Deathstroke being in the video game and all the commercials and all the ads. And then nothing. Well, not nothing, but it's
Arkham Origins, I give Arkham Origins a lot of shit, and for good reason. But Arkham Origins had a great Deathstroke fight.
Mm-hmm.
That fight was awesome.
Well, Deathstroke, I think, is
he's a character you have to get right.
Yeah. Like, I really dig, and I never thought I'd say this in a million years. I really like the Deathstroke in Titans. Because it's like, I can't remember.
Favorite Deathstroke is Teen Titans Deathstroke, voiced by the legendary Ron Perlman. Ron motherfucking Perlman.
Well, he's not Deathstroke, he's Slade, because you can't use Deathstroke in a kid's cartoon.
Like, Ron Perlman is like...
Ron Perlman is the shit.
Yeah.
Ron Perlman is...
Him, Clancy Brown, are like the two like greatest old men voice actors in like the world.
Oh yeah, Esai Morales. That guy was Deathstroke, and he's great as Deathstroke in it. But I'm not gonna lie, Manu Bennett, I liked him on as Deathstroke on the Arrow in the Arrowverse. I thought he did a pretty good job. But
Ron Perlman should just play Deathstroke next time. Deathstroke's meant to be an older guy.
Yeah,
like
I think
Ron Perlman could just play a live action Deathstroke. It would be awesome. If you're listening, movie execs, make it happen. If the role gets too physical, just have him wear a mask and have it be a stunt double, and just have like Ron dub over.
I kind of dug the way Joe Mantelino. Oh God, I can never pronounce his freaking name. At the end of the Justice League movie, when he shows up on Lex's boat at the end, I wanted him to be Deathstroke. I wanted to see him as Deathstroke. And of course, we ain't got nothing. We just got him getting on a boat. But evidently, he's going to be in the Snyder Cut, which is only in a handful of days. This January.
I can't wait to see Trainwreck 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
I don't like. I get why people like the Zack Snyder stuff, but at the same time, Batman v Superman, like, it's just a bad.
Well, my problem with Batman v Superman is,
even with the stuff that was cut,
I think with the stuff,
it still sucks, Dad.
I don't think it sucks. I think it's an okay movie,
but
when you put everything back in, I think it goes from being a train wreck to being an okay movie. But to be honest, you know, the only reason I like it, Batfleck. People hate me. People think Batfleck. I love.
I don't like the character he's playing, but I think if Ben Affleck was given a better, if he had a better script, if he was given a better script, he would have, like, casting wise, he's perfect.
Dude, he looks like Bruce Wayne because he's, you know, he's got the look, he's got the build.
Zack Snyder has doubled down on his whole Batman kills thing. Like, he has done nothing but, like, well, face it, nerds, Batman kills, and it's like,
go create the dog.
And it's just like, the only thing it does is just make him look like a bigger asshole.
My problem with Batfleck, I like him as Batman. I like the way he looks. But Batman has always been, you know, he doesn't carry a gun. He doesn't, but she'll sure the hell put a gun on everything he owns. I mean, the Batmobile's got guns. The Batplane's got guns. The Batcopter has guns. The Batcycle has guns.
Well, the thing is, his vehicles have had weaponry on them before to deal with, like bigger threats in the past. But the problem is, he's not using, miniguns to shred apart, vehicles and murder the occupants inside. The thing about... I feel like at some point Zack Snyder got mainline Batman and Thomas Wayne Batman confused. Because Joe and I, if Batfleck was playing a crazy Thomas Wayne Batman, and the movie was more, like, open with the fact, like, that, like, this is a fucked up, like, Wayne. Because, like, when Zack Snyder goes on his big whole tangents about, oh, Batman kills, get over it, nerds, it's like, Batman in the past literally gets into more shit because of his refusal to kill. Like, Batfleck, there wouldn't be Joker running around.
No, there wouldn't.
Joker would have been...
No, there'd be no Red Hood.
There wouldn't be a Red Hood because Jason Todd would have been avenged.
Yes.
And if he had been, even if he came back, if he somehow came back, he'd be like, "Sweet, I got avenged. I have no need to brood. Yeah, I love you, Bat Dad."
But
it does, like, Zack Snyder, the problem with Batman v Superman is that Zack Snyder wants to have his cake and eat it too.
Going in your drink. There you go.
It's empty. It's
fine.
Yeah, no. Zack Snyder wants to have his cake and eat it too. Because some parts of the script would work if everybody knocks the Martha moment. Everybody loves making fun of the Martha moment, and for good reason.
Yeah.
That's funny. But it would have legitimately worked if Batman was Batman and he didn't kill anybody the entire movie. Mm-hmm. If Superman was going to be his one and only kill. Because I'm stealing this from, like, a YouTube video I watched. If you say you take this hypothetical of Batman never killed in the whole movie. He's not, like, Sure, he's still like a bit of a paranoid maniac, but he didn't kill anybody. Superman is going to be his first kill. That whole line he drops where he's like, you weren't ever a god, you weren't even a man. You recontextualize it as he's saying that to himself because he doesn't see Superman, as, he's like, all right, I have to do this. And he's when he says, you're not even a man, he's just like, that's just to himself to, like, get him in that mindset.
Okay.
But when when Superman's like, Martha, like, suddenly he's like, oh my god, I'm about to kill someone that has a family. Oh my god.
Well, what's funny is that I was reading, I can't remember where I read it. If I read
But it doesn't work if the Martha moment doesn't work because Batman kills so much in the movie. What if that guy with the flamethrower had a family? And he was just working for the bad guys out of circumstance? What if those guys in the cars that he just fucking annihilated had, like, had kids? This is the reason why he doesn't kill. Because he understands that sometimes guys are pushed into
bad situations. Well, what I think is funny is that I read
in the comics he takes care of the hospital bills of the guys he fights.
Yeah, there is a rumor that we were supposed to get in the Snyder Cut, and we're going to see if this happens. The reason Batman just kind of wants to fucking take out Superman is because he keeps having those dreams where Superman is, becomes an agent of Darkseid, right? Mm-hmm. Is him being fed that subconsciously from Apocalypse to basically make him fight Superman so that the shit never comes about. Mm-hmm. That if Superman is not... It's either going to take out Superman or it's going to take out Batman. You cannot have both players on the field at the same time. Mm-hmm. Because that will tilt the tables towards the Justice League winning instead of Darkseid and his minions winning. Mm-hmm. So what he does is he plots this that either Superman's going to kill Batman or Batman's going to kill Superman. And if one or both of them's not on the field, then they're going to win. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's where they're going to go with the Snyder Cut, but I was like, that makes sense because why would fucking Superman start having these dreams?
Batman.
Batman having these
dreams of creatures that are real in the DC universe. He shouldn't know them.
Yeah, he shouldn't be seeing the parademons. He shouldn't be seeing the big Omega symbols. He shouldn't be seeing all this stuff yet. Because it hasn't come there yet. So what it is he's being fed this through like Glorious Godfrey or Desaad or through the Mother Box itself. It's tapping into him, subconsciously, causing him to want to fight Superman. Mm-hmm. And if you have either Batman not on the playing field or you don't have Superman playing field, then the chances are that Darkseid's going to win. Because yes, you got one-on-one, Batman's going to get his ass handed to him by the new gods of Apocalypse. Mm-hmm. But if you have the tactician in Batman, basically putting moving the chess pieces and helping everything set up, then that exponentially raises the win ratios for Mm-hmm. So
on one hand, it still doesn't fix the sure, it's a cool theory, but it still doesn't fix the underlying and overlying problems with the movie.
Yeah.
One thing I will say though is that at the very least, Batman v Superman is one of those fun bad movies you can watch. There are moments where you just it's meant to be really serious, but you just oh
yeah.
Fucking the Granny's homemade iced tea fucking scene.
Granny's homemade peach iced tea.
Yeah, and it's in the jar, and the guy just sitting there, and he just explodes, and then Superman's all like, and it's another thing. Henry Cavill has the makings of a great Superman. He just wasn't allowed to play Superman. He's not allowed to smile.
Dude.
Not allowed to...
Cavill, I wasn't sure how I was going to take Cavill because realistically, the only thing I'd seen him in
All he's
was
allowed to do is scowl.
in some other like lower budget movies up until Superman, and then of all things, Mission Impossible Fallout came out, and Cavill is the bad guy, and when they're having the big fight scene in the bathroom, and they're getting their ass whooped, and all of a sudden he gets up and he's like. And he like comes back and he like hits that boxer's pose and shit. I'm like, what? This is Superman right here. This dude right here is Superman with a mustache.
He wasn't allowed to do Superman things, which sucks.
Yeah.
Because he has the potential to be a fantastic Superman. He's got the look.
I think
honestly, he's got a lot of charisma.
I think, yeah, definitely. I think right now he just signed a three picture deal as Superman with Warner Brothers. I think that we might get the Cavill Superman that we needed, not the one we got, the one we needed.
I'm just be honest, like you're allowed to like Zack Snyder films. I think he's just so far up his own ass,
dude. I love 300. I love the Watchmen movie. And, you know...
I just think he's just so far up his own ass. Like, he thinks...
Well, the problem is Zack Snyder shouldn't be doing DC movies. He should be doing Marvel movies.
I don't... honestly, I don't think he should be doing a Marvel movie. What he should do is, instead of taking these beloved characters and just not knowing what makes them work, and not knowing why people like these characters... Because he has no idea why people love Batman so much. Admitted by the man himself when he goes on about how, Batman kills. I keep bringing this up, but he clearly does not understand why people like Batman. He clearly doesn't understand why people like Superman. He's one of those guys who are like, oh, Superman's boring. He's too strong.
I'm not gonna lie. I am not a Superman fan. I don't like the fact that basically Superman is the all-powerful...
Well, that's the thing. Like, everybody brings this up. But the best stories aren't Superman's struggles, like, power-wise.
It's Superman's
struggles like...
inside.
Yeah, it's, like... Superman's strength isn't his incredible superpowers. It's his... He has the same... He has the same power that Batman has. Willpower.
He has super optimism. Because he always believes things can be better. Yeah, he always believes everything can be better.
That's... Like, you will spend hours upon hours knocking Superman, but then you will watch, like, fucking Superman versus the Elite. You will watch these, like, fantastic Superman stories.
Superman versus the Elite is both a great comic and a great movie.
I love that movie. It's, like, my favorite, like... one of my favorite portrayals of Superman.
Well, mine is the Alan Moore.
Whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow, has that been animated? I think that needs to be animated.
Well, you also have the one. I
would love
the one from Justice League, where the Black Mercy.
What do you get for the man who has everything?
That is brilliant. Where Superman gets the Black Mercy put him. Spoiler alert for a 35-year-old book and a 10-year-old episode of a cartoon.
There's this plant called the Black Mercy that when it on you, it makes you see your greatest desire.
But it also devours you, and you basically die happy. It's Mongol's like weapon of choice, and he uses it, and he thinks it's okay. You get what you want, and I get you out. And I love the fact that it gives Superman everything he ever wanted, and everything is great. But when it gets put on Batman, Batman gets his parents back, but then he realizes he's like, yeah, this isn't how it's supposed to be. And
it's like when you watch the episode of the cartoon, it's great because like on one hand, like Mongol is a great villain.
Mm-hmm.
Eric
Roberts is a great.
I love his line where he's talking to, like what Superman's, like, what he's like wondering aloud what Superman's, fantasy is, I bet he's, imagining a world where he rules over everyone. And then it guts, and he's just, living on Krypton with his wife
And he's a
kid.
farmer. He's a farmer on Krypton.
And he's spending time with his dad, and he's just
Yeah.
he has a great life.
Yep.
And it's one of the greatest stories ever. And the cartoon did a fantastic job of translating the story to the television.
Oh man, it's got one of the best Superman scenes ever.
When he's when he realizes that this isn't real, and he's talking to his fake son, and he's like, I don't think you're real. And the kid's just like, what are you doing, Dad? And then he's like, I gotta go. There are people that need me. And you're just like, oh. Then he's like, Argh! And then he beats Mongols.
Yeah, because he's like, burn, and starts burning through freaking Mongol. The best thing with the Mongol storylines and the Dark Side storylines with Superman.
Mongol has one of the greatest lines in the history of ever. Happy birthday, Kryptonian. I give you oblivion.
Yep. Well, the best thing is that with Mongol and Dark Side are the only two people that basically Superman always holds back, except for maybe with Doomsday.
Once again, go to Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah.
Those final episodes
where
Superman fights Darkseid, and he's like, all my life I've been walking on eggshells,
and this
holding
is
back.
And this is
but you can take it, can't you?
Boom! Hey, go find the Timverse. So that's Batman the Animated Series, Superman the Animated Series,
The New Adventures of Batman,
New Adventures of Batman,
Batman
Beyond, Justice League,
Static
Shock, Justice League Unlimited, and then a bunch of the DC animated movies. But you watch those, and technically, Young Justice is part of the Timverse.
No, it's not really.
Because it's supposed to be.
It's not.
But
it's its own.
But no, go back and watch those shows. Especially if anything, watch the Justice League. Because they actually take a lot of the storylines that have existed over the years.
They do their own really cool original stuff.
Yeah.
They do. They do adaptations of stories.
And the fact that they touch on characters who are obscure. You get episodes with Huntress and the Question.
That is my favorite portrayal of the Question.
Yeah, on a double date with Black Canary and...
I love the Question.
Yeah, and Jeffrey Combs is the Question.
And he's fantastic. They got these, for this fucking kids show...
Huge cast. The fact that they got one of the best ones was the episode with Booster Gold.
Oh my god!
Who saves the world and no one knows it.
I love that episode. It's the greatest
the greatest story never told. Or
yeah. Oh, that's one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, go find the Justice League. Yeah, actually, I was gonna say
then there was the episode. Oh, another one of my favorite episodes where it's the Justice League D team. It's got what's his face, the cowboy guy. It's got Stargirl.
Yeah, Vigilante, Stargirl. My favorite.
And they're fighting like a Hulk level guy. And he keeps demanding Superman, but even though they're getting their asses beat, they just keep fighting.
The fact that they do Shining Knight, Vigilante, I'm like, holy crap. But no, one of my favorite ones is basically when they do DC's version, because it has Rob Zombie as the voice of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
But it's basically DC's version of the Defenders, because it's Hawkgirl, Aquaman, Solomon Grundy, but yeah, because
it dives into
Dr. Fate, because instead of Doctor Strange they have Dr. Fate, instead of the Hulk they have Solomon Grundy, instead of Nighthawk they have Hawkgirl, instead of Namor they have Aquaman.
What I was gonna say is it dives into the because Cthulhu is what the Thanagarians worship.
Yep.
They worship old gods.
The old ones. They basically worship Cthulhu.
There's another fucking great episode is because it's the because the Thanagarian invasion is the finale of the original Justice League series.
Before it becomes Justice League
Unlimited. Then it becomes Unlimited, and Hawk Girl is gone for like good chunk of the.
Yeah.
But then she comes back because she betrayed. And when she comes back, it's the episode when Grundy is like possessed by like a demonic force, and like the man who was Grundy is just gone.
Yep.
And Hawk Girl has to kill him.
Yep. And
they don't show it, but she's got the mace, and Grundy's just like, she's like, it's me, Birdface, and then he's just gone.
Yep.
So she's just like, ugh. God, this is another.
I always
episode.
love the love triangle between Jon Stewart, Hawk Girl, and Vixen. That's
Caught between.
That's some fun stuff right there.
And don't forget the when they like the Shadow Thief and like Hawkman shit, all that crazy shit.
They're literally the thing is I don't think
it had Black, Green Lantern from day one.
Yep.
We had, in the mid 2000s, like you'd be surprised at how much racism was going on back then.
Well,
we just didn't talk about it.
The funny part about it is they do bring
Jon Stewart, who's like he's the Green Lantern I grew up with. Everybody talks about Hal. Everybody talks. And I like Hal. Everybody likes Kyle. But
I'm a guy
Jon Stewart is the guy I grew up with, and I love Jon Stewart.
Yep.
He's great.
I cannot praise Justice League Unlimited enough. I think that is one of the best
It's just an incredible TV show in general.
Yeah. I mean,
it's got everything. It's got drama. It's got like interpersonal drama.
Oh, yeah.
It's got high stakes and big fights. It's got conspiracy shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's got like the whole Cadmus shit is just like super interesting. It's just like,
well, they even use characters that they got introduced relatively recent, like when they added Roulette in with the Fight Club for the superhero Fight Club.
Not just superhero Fight Club, the superheroine
Fight Club,
Cat Fight Club.
Yep. And they screw with their powers and stuff, and oh my god. There's so many good episodes, and
it's cool because they put obscure and like weird, like more fun characters like on the forefront. Like we got like Black Canary centric episodes.
Oh yeah, my favorite one is when they actually give Batman Beyond a finale in episodes of Justice League Unlimited, and also that's a 2-parter and has one of my best scenes in it because it has Jonah Hex in it. Or Jonah Hex is sitting on his horse and he goes...
No. You're thinking of the Batman Beyond finale was a different episode. That was the Batman Beyond crossover episode.
Okay, let's be honest. I love it when
because they're traveling through time chasing after... what's his face?
Time Master? No, not Time...
Kronos.
Yeah.
And he's like my favorite interpretation. Kronos and other stuff is just like generic bad guy. Kronos in Justice League Unlimited is like a guy with emasculation.
He's a henpecked husband who just wants really cool like artifacts.
He just wants to make he just wants to like not be emasculated by his wife.
But the best one is because it has Jonah Hex in it, who's one of my favorite DC guys.
Jonah Hex is great.
And Jonah Hex is in there, and he's setting up on his horse, and he goes, "I reckon you guys are from the future." And he goes, "How would you know?" He goes, "I've been around." And the fact that that's like Adam Baldwin as the voice of, and the fact that they have Batlash, Jonah Hex, essentially Scalp Hunter.
They couldn't call him Scalp Hunter.
Yeah, they can't call him. The best one was when they brought in the original Hanna-Barbera. They basically, remember they did the knockoffs of Samurai, Apache Chief, the Wonder Twins.
Yeah, it was the Cadmus is like superheroes.
Yeah,
and they were like, the thing is that they were clones and they were like on a set timer. And when they find this out, they just like go crazy because if you find out that you're disposable, you would also go crazy.
Yep, and it's great because, like I said, it's stand-ins for Apache Chief, who stays good, Black Vulcan. Samurai, the characters that they created
they're just like two characters are just straight up the Wonder Twins.
Yeah.
And it also gives us one of the best moments at like if you associate Aquaman with haha funny talking fish man, you didn't watch Justice League because Aquaman gets one of the best lines in this because he gets like blasted with like like a kamehameha of water, and he just stands there and he's just like king of the sea. You remember?
Oh man! But I think on that note, we can't praise Justice League Unlimited.
We're going to finish off praising Justice League to end on a positive.
Yes, as 2021 going to start off with a positive note, and that positive note is Justice League Unlimited.
Watch anything DCAU, DC Animated Universe.
Yes, that's right. So
Timverse, as
the Timverse. Yes,
everybody associates it with Bruce Timm, but it wasn't just Bruce Timm. It was guys like Paul Dini.
Dini is Paul Dini.
There was a guy who passed away like a while back, but he was like a big influential writer in the whole.
Yeah, there was a bunch, but yeah, it's a. You can't go wrong. I mean, probably the weakest of them is the Superman animated series.
But that's just because you don't like Superman.
But
Superman,
no, as good as everything is, that's like you got all this stuff that's on this level, and Superman's kind of down here. He's not down here, I
freaking love the Mr. Mxyzptlk episode. Mxyzptlk episode. I love
I love when they get like Batman the Animated Series introduced Harley Quinn.
Yeah, we got. That's where Harley Quinn. If you are a clown fucker, you have Batman the Animated Series to thank for Harley Quinn.
And if you like Livewire,
that's also
from Superman the Animated Series. Mm-hmm. So all right, so as the night ends on that note, finally, we ought to remember.
We're everywhere.
We are everywhere. We are now on Pandora. We are on iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, Podbean, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Podcasts,
Apple Podcasts,
Podcast Addicts. We're on YouTube. Check out our Patreon. If you want to donate money, that is awesome. I'm ordering a better camera than the one we got with the Patreon money that we got recently. Everything that we get, none of that goes to me. None of it.
All going into this.
It all goes into the show. I don't make a penny off of this yet. It all goes to, I just bought some new software. In fact, I'm in the hole on this because this is costing me money. I put new software up. I bought new microphones. I'm buying new cameras. I'm getting ready to probably buy a new computer. But like I said, check us out. And as always, we are on Facebook. And you can follow
Twitter, Tumblr, YouTube.
Yeah, Instagram. You can follow me on
You can come to us in real life.
You can literally come to my store while I'm there and say hi. And I will bullshit and I will talk to you about all kinds of stupid shit.
And then you will pay us money.
You will pay us money. You will buy something from my store. No.
Even if it's just simple as a soda.
Yeah. So, I am Paul.
I'm Brandon.
And we're not licensed therapists. Good night.